How we doing, everyone? Hope you're well. Mr. Boulder here, back today with a Cannibal Corpse album ranking video. I've been thinking about doing the Corpse discography for a while now, and not too long ago I had a request from someone asking me to do it, so the time is now. Cannibal Corpse, of course, from Buffalo, New York, a legendary death metal band who don't need any introduction. Been around since the late 1980s, still going strong today. There are 16 studio albums to talk about, so not going to mess about. Going to get straight into it. For me, these first two I'm going to show, even though they're not bad albums, because Cannibal have never made a bad album, these first two I'm going to show, for me, are definitely the weakest. So we're going to kick off in 16th position with 2017's Red Before Black. The last album to feature Pat O'Brien before he left the band. There's a couple of good tunes on this, but there's a hell of a lot of filler for me. It's still a decent album, but it's definitely the weakest for me. Red Before Black, the title track I really like. Shedding My Human Skin is a great tune. I really enjoy that one. Head Shoveled Off, so first track on side B is decent. But other than that, there's not too much else that sticks out in the memory for me on this one. Of course, everyone's still putting in good performances. Pat's solos are, of course, great. Corpse Grinder's vocals, really good. But Red Before Black, for me, easily the weakest Cannibal album. There's not many memorable tracks. There's a lot of filler on this. When you consider what great musicians these guys are and the time they go into sort of writing these songs, it's a shame that there's so much on here that's quite forgettable. But for me, Red Before Black, definitely in 16th place. In 15th place is Violence Unimagined from 2021. I won't lie, for me, the Eric Rutan era of Cannibal Corpse has not set the world on fire like I thought it was going to. I thought they were going to really sort of come out with some really amazing stuff since Eric joined the band. But for me, it's not really happened. But still, this is definitely an improvement on Red Before Black. And there are some good tunes on this. Open track Murderous Rampage is fantastic. Inhumane Harvest is really good. Surround Kill Devour is probably my favourite song on the album. Corpse Grinder's vocals in that are great chorus as well, very catchy. Bound and Burden is decent as well, but again, much like Red Before Black, there's a lot of filler on this for me, and it just, like I say, did not blow me away like I was expected to when Eric joined the band. Some decent tunes, a little bit. Again, there's a lot of filler on this one. It doesn't stick out in the mind for me, and that's why Violence Unimagined comes in at 15th place. 14th place now is an album that I really loved when it first came out, but not so keen on it these days. It's still decent listen though. Here's The Skeletal Domain from 2014, sorry. There are some really good killer songs on this. The opening track, High Velocity Impact Spatter. I love the way it starts with the feedback guitars. There's some great musical parts in this song as well, where the riffs are changing around. Corpse Grinder's vocals again are insanely good. Kill or Become track 3, very good. Skeletal Domain, the title track is excellent. Headlong into Carnage I really like. Funeral Crematation is really good. But again, I mean, I'm sorry for repeating myself here, but there's a lot of filler on some of these albums, and that's why these albums are coming in towards the end of the ranking. Some albums with some really good tunes on, but some real forgettable filler as well that doesn't stick out in the memory. Skeletal Domain comes in at 14th place. Some decent tunes on it, but a lot of filler. 13th place is the most recent album, 2023's Chaos Horrific. Definitely an improvement on the first Rutan album. There's much more catchier songs on this for me. Overlord's Violence, first track, really good. Frenzied Feeding, brilliant stuff. Excellent chorus, very catchy. Vengeful Invasion, brilliant stuff. Blood Blind, some of the riffing in that is just absolutely fantastic. Some of Rob Barrett's best riffs, I think. Title track, House Horrific, is very good. And the last track, Drain You Empty, really good as well. A couple of filler tunes, but it's definitely an improvement on the ones we've seen so far. No doubt about it. House Horrific from last year, good stuff. I like that one. That's a good album. Number 12 now is 1998's Gallery of Suicide, the first album to feature Pat O'Brien after he replaced, I think Rob Barrett left, didn't he, in the mid-90s, before he come back, of course. This album is very much a case of the first half of it is really, really good, and the second half not quite as strong. But the opening track, I Will Kill You, fantastic chorus, really, really good stuff. Sentence to Burn is one of my favourite Cannibal Corpse songs. It's absolutely brilliant. I love the way the vocal patterns follow the riffs and the verses. Very, very catchy stuff. Blood Drenched Execution is just savage stuff. Corpse Grinder's screamy vocals in that sound great. Title track, Gallery of Suicide, is decent. The Molested, From Skin to Liquid, I think that's the instrumental track. Decent stuff, but side B isn't as strong, but there's still some good stuff here. I mean, Stabbed in the Throat, again, some of the vocal patterns in that are fantastic. Very, very catchy. Chambers of Blood's decent as well. Every Bone Broken. But some of the tracks on side B don't grab as much as ones on side A. But this album is a big improvement on the ones that we've seen so far. Gallery Suicide from 1998. Remember getting this on CD when it first came out. Played it loads. Some great Cannibal tunes on this one. I like that album a lot. Number 11 is a Torture from 2012, and I only have this one on picture disc. This is being reissued very soon, so I will be picking that up when it comes out. Saw these guys on this tour. They were playing in London with Triptykon, Job for a Cowboy, and Enslaved. Torture's a good album. Again, there's some filler on this, but there's some very, very strong tracks on it as well. Demented Aggression, opening tune, is brilliant. Corpse Grinder's vocals, fantastic. Scourge Divine, very, very slow song, really, really heavy. Guitar tone's fantastic on the whole record, of course, but I really love the riffs in that one. As Deep as a Knife Will Go, fantastic tune, really, really catchy stuff. Great vocals from Corpse Grinder. Followed Home and Killed is an awful song title, but a really, really good tune, though, has to be said. Strangulation Chair, another title that's a bit cringy, but still a good tune. Rabid and Torn Through, good tunes, good album. Looking forward to getting a proper vinyl copy of this one, not just a picture disc. It's a good album though. Torture, that comes in at number 11. We're into the top 10 now. And here's Kill from 2006. This is the last Cannibal Corpse album that really, really impressed me. There's some absolutely amazing tunes on this one. Time to Kill Is Now, the opening track is brilliant. I love the harmonics in the riffs and the chorus and that. Very, very catchy stuff. Make Them Suffer, track 2, it's absolutely savage. Brilliant vocals from George in that. Murder Worship, track 3, fantastic. I love the technical riffing in that tune. Necrostatic Warning, great. 5 Nails Through the Neck, track 5. Those opening 5 tracks are absolutely amazing. Death's Walking Terror, last track on side A, is just absolutely fantastic. My favourite song on the album. The down picking on the guitar in that song is absolutely intense. Absolutely amazing guitar playing. The downstrokes are beastly. Side B, again, a bit like Gallery of Suicide, not as good as what come before it, but still some decent tunes on there. Brain Removal Device, Manacle, Submerged in Born in Flesh. End of Infinite Misery, the instrumental track. Good album from Cannibal, really, really like this one. The last Cannibal album that really, really knocked me out. Really, really good stuff. I like that a lot. Very, very simplistic cover here for Cannibal Corpse, but never mind, gets the job done. That's a fantastic album. Number 9 now. And here's Evisceration Plague, another album that I only have on picture disc. This has, of course, recently been reissued. I'm still waiting for it to turn up in the post. So Evisceration Plague from 2009. Some absolutely fantastic tunes on there. Some of my favourite Corpse Grinder era songs, actually. Priest of Sodom, the opening track, is amazing. Really like the drums from Paul Mazurkiewicz on that one. Schooled in Hell, track 2 is really good. Cauldron of Hate. Evidence in the Furnace is really, really good song as well. Cavernous Swarm. The title track though, Evisceration Plague, definitely one of my favourite Cannibal tunes. The main riff in that, with all the hammer-ons and the pull-offs, just sounds really frenzied and frantic. Excellent stuff. Love Corpse Grinder's vocals in the verses. Shatter Bones is a fantastic tune as well. And ends with Skewered from Ear to Eye. An amazing ending track. Great riffs. The drums are great in it. And again, Corpse Grinder sounding fantastic. Evisceration Plague comes in 9th place. In 8th place now is their debut. Eaten Back to Life from 1990, of course. This is the first Chris Barnes era album you're seeing. Yeah, for me, easily the weakest one of the Barnes era. Still plenty of good stuff on it as well, though. Early death metals, of course, is still very thrashy in places. Shredded Humans, the opening track is really good. Put Them to Death, I like that one as well. Scattered Remains, Splattered Brains. What a great song title that is. Good tune as well. For me, though, side 2 is where the better stuff's at. Born in a Casket, that intro riff is just absolutely amazing. The guitar tone on this record is phenomenal as well. The Undead Will Feast, great tune. Bloody Chunks, excellent. A Skull Full of Maggots, huge track. Brilliant chorus. Love Barnes' vocals in that one. Ends Are Buried in the Backyard. Yeah, my least favourite of the Barnes era, but still a very good album, no doubt about it. They went to do better stuff with Barnes, but the debut is still really good stuff. Eating Back to Life from 1990 there. That's 8th place. In at 7th place from 2002 is Gore Obsessed. I played this album to death when I first got it, and I absolutely love it still now. Some brilliant tunes on it. Some fantastic tunes on it, actually. Savage Butchery, the opening track is really good. But Hatchet to the Head, track 2 is fantastic. Great vocals from Corpse Grinder again. Pit of Zombies, Dormant Bodies Bursting, great tunes. Compelled to Lacerate is fantastic. The riffing in that tune is really good. Drown and Viscera, another really good track. Sounded Faceless. Mutation of the Cadaver is a great tune as well. When Death Replaces Life, quite a slow song for Cannibal. The riffs are fantastic. Alex Webster's bass playing on this song and everything he's done is just amazing. A great chorus, a catchy tune. Gore Obsessed from 2002 is a fantastic album, and in my Cannibal ranking comes in at 7th place. Absolutely love that album, great stuff. Number 6, and here's Bloodthirst from 1999. Third album, Corpse Grinder and Band, some absolutely amazing tunes on this album. Kicks off with Powdered Into Dust. I love the way that just starts, and everything is just going all guns blazing. Again, great vocals from George. Dead Human Collection, brilliant riffs in that tune. Absolutely love it. Unleashing the Bloodthirsty, track 3. Some great riffs in that tune. Very technical tune as well. Really good stuff. Ecstasy and Decay is really good as well. Hacksaw Decapitation on side B, excellent. Blowtorch Slaughter is brilliant. I love that descending riff as it goes down the fretboard. It sounds fantastic. Great stuff. Again, more great vocals from George. Sickening Metamorphosis, Condemned to Agony, Bloodthirst, much like Gore Obsessed, played this album to death when I first picked up on CD back in 1999. Great stuff from Cannibal there. Bloodthirst is number 6. So into the top 5 now. This is where we get into the really good stuff. I mean, everything from number 6 right down to number 14. Those albums are all very similar for me. They've got some really good tunes on, but they've also got the filler on them as well. But now we get into the really good stuff. So 5th place, here is The Wretched Spawn from 2004, which was Jack Owen's last album before he quit the band. This is this really lame alternate cover. The original cover is much better. Again, this album I played to death at the time, and this has just got some amazing tunes on it. Kicks off a Severed Head Stoning, which is not the greatest opening track on a Cannibal album. It's still decent. But Psychotic Precision, track 2, is amazing. I love the riffs. Corpse Grinder's vocals in the chorus are fantastic. Decency Defied, brilliant. Again, another one of those tracks that was really intense on the down picking for the guitars. Sounds brilliant. Frantic Disembowelment. The riffs in that are absolutely amazing. I finally got the second word out there. The Wretched Spawn, title track, brilliant stuff. Festering in the Crypt, great tune. Side B, Nothing Left to Mutilate, Blunt Force Castration. Slain, brilliant tune, love the chorus, great vocals from George. They Deserve to Die, and Bent Backwards and Broken at the end. Just absolutely fantastic stuff. Great riffs on this entire record. Jack Owen is a real riff maester and a little bit underrated as far as I'm concerned. Paul Mazurkowicz's drums are fantastic. Brilliant album. Wretched Spawn from 2004 comes in at number 5. Number 4 is 1996's Vile. Corpse Grinder's first album. Was gutted when Barnes was out, but I've got to say, George came along and he's done a good job ever since. Again, an album that I first got on CD at the time of release and played it constantly. Some fantastic tunes in this. When it kicks off, just with those toms, and then everything comes in all guns blazing with a Corpse Grinder's massive scream. It's just fantastic. Brilliant way to start this album, Devoured by Vermin. What a tune that is. Mummified and Barbed Wire, catchy stuff, Perverse Suffering, some great riffs in that. I love Paul's drums specifically. Disfigured, again a great tune. Puncture Wound Massacre, Relentless Beating, Absolute Hatred, Eaten From Inside, great tune. Orgasm Through Torture, quite laughable lyrically, but great tune. Ends with Monolith. Amazing album from Cannibal Corpse, George's first album, Vile, from '96. Number 4 in my Cannibal Corpse album ranking. Brilliant stuff. Love that album a lot. Into the top 3 now. And here's 1991's Butchered at Birth. When I first heard this, I was blown away. I'd never heard vocals so low. Barnes was definitely on top of his game when they made this one. Fantastic album. Love the production on it, which was of course done on Morris Sound with Jim Morris, I think. Can't see it right now. Either Jim Morris or Scott Burns, can never remember. But yeah, great album. Kicks off with Meat Hook Sodomy. You've got those guitars that are hammering on the tremolo before everything comes in properly. Sounds excellent. Gutted, I love that intro riff. Brilliant tune. Living Dissection, again, more catchy riffing, great tune. Under the Right Flesh, side A is all good. There's nothing bad there at all. Covered with Swords, decent tune. Vomit the Soul, absolutely love that intro riff. It's brilliant. Some excellent vocals from Barnes. The title track, Rancid Reputation, In a Decay. Butchered at Birth from 1991, number 3 in the ranking. Absolutely fantastic album. No bad songs on that. Into the top 2. Now, for me, these two are always going to be right at the top of the pile. The ones I've just talked about, I really, really like. But for me, these two are the absolute best, no doubt about it. And in number 2 position is 1992's Tomb of the Mutilated with the iconic cover artwork. Again, Barnes absolutely knocking it out of the park with his vocals on this. The vocals are so low, so guttural. I just absolutely love them. Still to this day, I can't make out some of the stuff that he's saying, but I don't care. As you all know, when it comes to death metal, the vocals is more like an extra instrument, really. Kicks off a Hammer Smashed Face, which is one of the best opening tracks you'll hear on any album. I love that tune, everything about it. The little bass break near the start of the song, Alex playing the riff, sounds great after everything's come thundering in all at once. Icon Blood, massive tune, great riffs. Split Wide Open, great tune as well. The Cryptic Stench, Post-Mortal Ejaculation, Beyond the Cemetery. There are no bad songs on this album. The production's fantastic. The riffs throughout the entire record are great. Love the solos. All the solos I think are done by Jack Owen. Oh, I think he did all the rhythm guitars, actually. It's just absolutely amazing. An album that I never ever bore listening to. It's just fantastic from start to finish. No bad songs at all. Everyone's putting in a great performance. Tomb of the Mutilated from 1992 is my second favourite Cannibal Corpse album, which means there's only one left to show. And my number 1 Cannibal Corpse album is easily The Bleeding from 1994. It's just an absolutely flawless album. I mean, I really like Tomb of the Mutilated, but for me, this one's even better. Everything about this album is fantastic, whether it's the riffs, the solos, Paul's drums, Alex's bass playing, Barnes' vocals, absolutely phenomenal stuff. There are no bad songs on this album. For me, this is where they really peaked with their songwriting. It's really brutal and heavy, but it's all very catchy in a lot of places as well. Some choruses that get into your head. Easily their best songwriting for me. Kicks off with Staring Through the Eyes of the Dead. I absolutely love those riffs in that tune with the hammer-ons and the pull-offs. Sound really frenzied and excellent. Great vocals from Chris. Fucked with a Knife, track 2. Savage stuff. Great riffs again. Pulverized. Love the riffs in that tune as well. A great song with a really catchy chorus. Pickaxe Murder is fantastic. She Was Asking For It is a terrible title for a song, but a great tune, no doubt about it. The title track, The Bleeding, the riffs in that are really, really catchy. Very much get into your head pretty much straight away. Great vocals again from Chris. Force Fed Broken Glass is a savage tune. Ends with an experiment in homicide. It's a perfect album from start to finish. No bad songs at all. Great vocals from Chris. The guitars are excellent. Just a fantastic album. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant production as well. Too Many Mutilated is really good, but this one for me is just a little bit better. My #1 Cannibal Corpse album is 1994's The Bleeding. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely love it. And that is my #1. Superb stuff from Cannibal Corpse, The Bleeding from 1994 in the #1 spot. So there we go, guys. Cannibal Corpse album ranking over and done. As always, jump in the comments section. Let me know what you think about this ranking. Leave yours in the comments section. Feel free, as always, to get in the comments section. It's always good chatting with you guys. I should be back with you next week with another video. So until then, as always, cheers, take care, and I shall see you later.